Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you get informed fast.
And today we're looking at something quite specific, right? Vaccine research in Africa.
Exactly. It's a place facing, a heavy burden from vaccine-preventable diseases. So the big question we're asking is, how much is Africa really contributing to the cutting edge of vaccine innovation?
Yeah, we've got some data to dig into. A recent bibliometric study basically looking at research publications from 2016 to mid-2024 across the continent.
Right. It gives us a kind of scientific snapshot of productivity, who's working with whom, and what they're focusing on. So our mission for you today, we want to unpack what this data actually tells us. Where does Africa stand in vaccine science? What's going well?
And crucially, where are the gaps, the bottlenecks?
No.
We'll try and make it clear and concise for you.
Okay, let's jump in. The headline number looks pretty good, doesn't it? General Vaccine Research Publications, showing a really robust 55.4% annual growth rate.
Yeah, that number itself is impressive. I mean, a 55% jump year on year suggests a huge increase in scientific output, real momentum.
But is that the whole story? Often these big numbers hide some complexities.
They absolutely do. And this is where it gets fascinating and maybe a bit concerning. While those general research papers soared, actual vaccine clinical trials saw a 6.08% decline over the same period.
Wait, a decline while general research is booming.
Exactly. It's a stark contrast. And it really points to, those ongoing systemic issues. It seems like generating the initial research, the papers, is outpacing the ability to actually test the vaccines in people.
Which requires, what, more money, infrastructure?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Clinical trials need specialized facilities, complex regulatory hoops to jump through, and just very significant sustained funding, big commitments. Those are clearly still major hurdles.
Okay, so that's a key tension. Now let's talk about COVID-19. Its impact was huge everywhere. How did it play out here?
Oh, profoundly. Before 2020, the research trends were more towards sort of general vaccine development, immunization programs, malaria, the usual suspects, you could say. Then 2020 hits, and boom, COVID-19 research just completely takes over the publication landscape, overwhelms it almost.
Showing that the research community could pivot fast, I suppose.
Definitely showed adaptability, a real scientific sprint, you could call it. But, and this is important, it seems to have been largely temporary, transient.
Meaning?
Well, by 2023, the trial numbers specifically, they were pretty much back to where they were before the pandemic.
So the surge didn't translate into a lasting boost for trials capacity?
It appears not, based on this data. And post-2020, the research focus kind of settled back down. Back to things like immunization schedules, vaccine safety, which is increasingly important, and vaccines for kids and mothers.
That focus on safety, especially with new vaccines like the malaria ones coming online, that feels critical for trust, right?
Absolutely vital. You need that public confidence, and robust safety research underpins it.
Let's talk about collaboration. The study mentioned high rates of international co-authorship.
Yeah, really high, actually. Around 65.8% for the general research papers. And for the clinical trials, it was even higher, almost 80%.
Wow, 80%. And we saw some countries leading the pack, South Africa, Egypt, Nigeria.
Ethiopia and Kenya, too, for general research.
Yeah.
For trials, it was South Africa, Egypt, Gambia, Kenya, and Guinea-Bissau. And Ethiopia stood out for publishing review articles.
So lots of international teamwork, clear African hubs of activity. Is that purely a positive thing, this high international linkage?
It's definitely a strength in many ways. It boosts visibility, potentially funding, shares expertise, but it also highlights disparities.
How so?
Well, research output isn't spread evenly. It often tracks with things like GDP, national research funding, the usual economic factors. And that high international co-authorship, particularly near 80% for trials, it does raise that question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About potential over-reliance on external funding, maybe even external agendas or leadership.
So the collaboration is good, but maybe it needs to be more African-led.
That's the crucial point. There's a real need to build capacity for African researchers to lead their own agendas, making sure their research priorities truly match the continent's specific needs, building resilient, self-sufficient research systems, not just contributing to externally driven projects.
Right. So wrapping this up, we've seen this sort of split picture. Impressive growth in publications, general research is up.
Yeah, big time.
But worrying stagnation, even decline in the crucial area of clinical trials, plus that temporary, albeit huge, blip from COVID-19.
Exactly. So the provocative thought maybe for you, the listener, is this. What does it all mean? Publications are increasing, yes, but is that the best measure of progress? Or does real progress lie in building that sustained capacity, ensuring equitable partnerships, and fostering truly African-led solutions?
Mm.
How can global health efforts better empower African scientists, not just to publish data, but to lead the innovation that addresses their own unique health challenges, ensuring knowledge turns into lasting impact on the ground?
Something important to think about. That's all we have time for on the deep dive.